I'm going to do a short stream here because I cannot sleep. Sleep for me has become an ongoing problem. It didn't used to be a problem, really. I used to sleep pretty well. But I don't know. I expected to sleep well last night, too. I had a wonderful time yesterday taking mushrooms, and it typically makes me sleepy after it's over. Like, I sleep really well, but I guess you could say that I didn't go to sleep when I should have or something when I was really tired. I did go to bed on the early side, like 7 or 8 o'clock or something. But I'm still tired. I was watching some Pleasant Core on YouTube, watching some Adam traveling, doing travel log stuff. Got a little bored with that though. I woke up mad at the first dentist. I think I might make another appointment back there and go yell at him and get some money back from him too. Shame him, which he badly needs, for being such a shitty dentist. So I understand why he's so afraid of litigation. If you're that shitty of a dentist, of course people might sue you. Bro on meth. I wish I was on meth, Matt. That'd be so much more fun than not being on meth. Do you have some? Are you offering to hook me up? Don't tease me like that, Matt. Come on. Three in the morning. 3:06 a.m. That's what time it is. Read with James. I plan to stream for an hour, maybe two, and then try to go back to bed. Unless Matt kicks down, then maybe I'll stay up. I guess Matt decided he wasn't getting the response he wanted from me. Oh, I feel so sad for you. So yeah, I woke up mad with the dentist. And I really should get a refund from him for some of his work because of various reasons. Like, he put a crown on this back tooth because he didn't think he was capable of pulling it out adequately because, I don't know, he thought some oral surgeon should do it or something. Now I'm having to have the crown he put on and that tooth taken out because he decided to break our agreement and fire me as a client. So I think he should refund me that. Yeah, but the main reason why I want to make him give me some money back is because he accused me of lying to him with neither evidence nor reasonable cause for suspicion. Tomorrow will be a not today. Today's Sunday, and it'll be a fine day. But tomorrow is going to be a kind of a big day because number one, tomorrow I get my Adderall refilled. And number two, tomorrow we're going to go to Los Angeles to see my daughter. And that'll be nice. I miss her. We don't live that far away, but 5 hours is a big barrier to actually visiting with her. Maybe it shouldn't be. Tomorrow is just work for me, then home, do some reading, and mow the lawn. Well, that sounds like a pleasant day. This upcoming day today, I live in Mariposa County, California, which is where Yosemite is. It's about 5 hours north of Los Angeles. And we live out here in the woods, my wife and I, and my daughter still lives in Los Angeles. I used to live in Los Angeles too. My daughter has, like, all the rest of her family besides me is in Los Angeles. Yeah, it's beautiful up here. Yeah, I did sleep as a Nova, but I didn't sleep very well. I need to go back to bed here at some point. I'm just gonna stream for an hour or two. Always a dream of mine to live in that Cali Pacific Northwest area. Yeah, it's nice. I've got a lot of big trees around and stuff, and it's very quiet where I live. True, the neighbors across the street like to play horrible music, but that's only sometimes, and I can't hear it in the house. You haven't slept yet? I don't have a feeling, man. Sleep is elusive. It feels like a long time since I've just laid down and had a really good night's sleep. I watched a lot of good videos about the recently completed World Series, which was a super great World Series. I super enjoyed watching it. You just worked second shift and got up at 2:30 a.m. Huh? Are you a big baseball fan? Yeah, me too. Rachel and I are actually, since we moved up here, have become huge athletic fans. We're about 3 hours from Sacramento, 3 hours from Oakland. Now they're in Sacramento, you know. But I'm a lifelong Dodgers fan originally. My mom was a huge Dodgers fan. My dad and my parents were both Dodgers fans, you know. I grew up listening to Dodger games on the radio all the time. It was pretty exciting to see them win, and what a great series. There were three fantastic games, right? Game three, game six, and game seven were all fantastic. You get three fantastic, memorable games in one series. That's a heck of a series. Goes game seven. And game seven had absolutely everything. Benches clearing. It had two force outs at home. It was like it was crazy. Oh, you got to go to the Giants game in their stadium? Rachel and I have yet to be to the new Giants stadium. I've been to a Giants game back when they played at Candlestick Park. That's the last time I've been to a Giants game. That's a long time ago. I went to college in Santa Cruz, so the Bay Area was relatively close when I was in college. Rachel and I did go to the Oakland Coliseum to see the A's, and we went this year to Sacramento Sutter Health Field to see the Athletics as well. In fact, we went twice. It's a super nice stadium. I'm sort of biased. It was my first and only MLB stadium. Even though you're a Cubs fan, you never been to the Wrigley Field. I've been to not a lot of stadiums. I've been to Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium, Candlestick Park, Oakland Coliseum, Sacramento Sutter Health Field. I think that's it. Those are the only baseball stadiums I've been to. I've been to a fair amount of college football stadiums because when I was a kid, my dad was a huge USC fan, and we traveled to see road games sometimes. So, like, I've been to Husky Stadium, the Cal Stadium, Stanford Stadium, Arizona's Stadium. Um, have not been to Autzen. Been to Oregon State, I believe. Maybe I didn't see a football game though there. Actually, I'm in Rockford. I've been to a few White Sox games. So Rockford must be a suburb of Chicago, I'm guessing, in Illinois. And you go White Sox rather than Cubs. How do people in Chicago decide whether they're a White Sox or a Cubs fan? In Los Angeles, it's pretty straightforward. Everyone's a Dodgers fan, and no one's an Angels fan. So if you've never been to Chicago, what made you choose the Cubs as your team? Most are Cubs fans? Okay. And like, I don't get it. I wouldn't want to be the other team in a major market. Like, I wouldn't want to be the Angels or the White Sox. Just get your own city. Also, I guess the Mets are an exception. The Mets, I mean, New York can somehow pull off two teams, I guess. That 2016 series made a lot of Aussies love the Cubs. Oh, you're from Australia. Well, the Cubs are kind of like the ultimate underdogs in some sense. So I'm surprised you're a baseball fan at all, being Australian. I didn't know Australians watched baseball at all. I think it's a great game to watch too. Some people say it's slow or whatever, but you're a Braves fan? It seems like every year they're expected to be competitive in their division, etc. Hmm. Australians generally don't watch it, but you spend a lot of time in the States. Cool. I mean, I love American football, but it is the case that it's like there's a lot of standing around between actually running plays. Australia has like four national teams that don't play much, and it's not popular at all. Hmm. Well, most of all, what Australia has is Ray Gun, the Queen of Dance. that for a certain generation of people, Australia will always be associated with a ray gun. Doing the Cobra. I watched this funny video after she did their breakdancing routine at the Olympics. There's some Australian guy saying, "We're sorry." We're sorry we broke dancing. I can't do an Australian accent, but it was a funny video. She got it so bad when she came back. They tried to do a musical about it, but she sued them and had to close it down. Oh, that's too bad. Reagan was just a gift from God across the board, I think. It's like, how do you? On some level, she knew that she was in trouble, I think, from the outset. I saw a video by an actual breakdancer who kind of explained the situation, and it's basically like there are two kinds of things that are prioritized in breakdancing and scoring. One of them is power moves, and one of them is like, I don't know, some kind of spinny thing or something. And in an interview before it, she's like, I can't do either of these two things very well, but I've got this third thing. Well, she got it worse because naturally Australians have a don't take yourself too seriously mentality, and we're quick to make fun of ourselves, and she was just too uptight about it all. Mm. Add a Q&A sticker, it suggests to me. So, insomnia. I just at no point got like fell asleep well and soundly. Today is Sunday, and what I have planned for today is at noon. So 8.5 hours from now. Obviously, I'm gonna have to go back to bed before then, but I don't know if I'm gonna fall asleep. What's kind of shocking to me is that apparently 3:20 a.m. on a Sunday morning is not a great time to live stream. Who knew? I was quite happy yesterday. I streamed for quite a long time, and the numbers around here were, pretty good. I had a steady 10 to 15 people, mostly over 10 the whole time, which is nice. It's nice to have um, a dozen or more people chiming in. Feel pretty normal again. I had a I had a rough stretch of days. Um, After my last bottle of Adderall ran out, and I kind of had the crash hangover from it. That was a rough period of time. Magnesium works like a charm. Magnesium works like a charm to do what? To help you sleep? How am I doing? I'm doing well. Like I was saying, I had a rough stretch of days for a while there, a couple weeks back, and it's taken me a while to come back to my normal self. I blame the fact that I fucked around and found out with this psych drug that's not prescribed to me that my friend gave me. I started taking a boost bar, anti-anxiety drug. I was just taking it because, hey, let's see, maybe I like it. But when I stopped doing it, I had these like panic attacks. I had a real strong like snap back to it. Got to poo. Magnesium helps to sleep. I do believe I have some magnesium pills in the bathroom. Maybe I should take it. Life is scary in some ways and difficult in others. I was watching this videos yesterday about like Gnosticism, Christian mythologies, and stuff like that. And they were talking about the Garden of Eden. They said, and then God came to punish Adam and Eve and told Eve, you Women will forever suffer the pain of childbirth, and told Adam, and you will toil and suffer your whole life, and then you will grow old and die. I gotta go to the bathroom. Stuff you take is not that different than my stuff I like, but I guess mine helps me be open about what I really like. Well, I mean, so does mine. Adderall, it gets me doing stuff, being enthusiastic and motivated to do stuff that I like to do, but that I find myself kind of crippled about doing when I'm normal. Anyway, I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay, there. You never know what worse luck your bad luck has saved you from. That's an interesting observation. I haven't had bad luck per se. I have my pain is that all of my wounds are self-inflicted. So I probably will stream for about an hour tonight. I think I need to find someone who I can enjoy so I can slow down a little on the chase of finding someone to enjoy. Well, yeah. I mean, sounds like that's important to you. It's nice to know what's important to you. Your wounds are straight up self-sabotage. Uh, I mean, I guess think of The Eric before now is just incredibly stupid. I think of my current self as much more grown, that I've grown a lot from a lot of stuff, you know. Sure, there's been trauma linked to dramatic events and stuff, but the worst trauma is regretting your own bad decisions. I've got trauma on a cloudy day. People are fragile creatures, you know. It's hard to be a physically and mentally healthy and happy person. I think they're relatively rare. I guess I have a typo. I don't know what typo it was. Living with the past, says Ananova. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah. You know, you always got to live with yourself. No matter where you go, there you are. You can't avoid being yourself. You can't run from yourself. And the mind is a place of its own. It can make a heaven of a hell or a hell of heaven. Quote from Milton, I think. Again, something I heard in those videos I was watching yesterday. YouTube's so good. There's so much stuff to it's worth watching. It's it's very nice. I'm gonna make a video pretty soon. And or you have a type. There's a line from a Cormac McCarthy book where he says something like that. Oh yeah. It's never better than hiding it at others. I mean some people they're you know they're good at living good lives. And some people are not as good at it. A life without grief is no life at all, but regret is a prison. Some part of you, which you deeply value, lies forever, impaled at a crossroads you can no longer find and never forget. That's well said. But the thing is, one can go from being incapacitated by grief and regret to having processed it more, right? Do you think we can choose if we want to be good at like or not? Or good at life or not? Um, no, I don't think we can choose it. I think intuitives are generally not good at life, except in ENTJs and ENFJs. Like INFPs, INTPs, ENTPs, ENFPs. We're not good at life. INFJs, ISFJs, they're good at life and generally happy. ESFJs, good at life and generally happy. ESTJs are very good at life, but not necessarily happy. STJs have problems with connecting with people in meaningful ways, I think. So, I find sensory stuff, practicalities, self-discipline, all that stuff very difficult. Is that you? Are you an intuitive? I don't know. I don't know what type you are. Well, maybe it is. Like, if you've ever heard of this internet thing called the dark playground and the like stress monkey or something like that, it's the idea that you got something you have to do and you want to just procrastinate on it and you just want to play in some little thing that you're going nanny nanny nanny. It's not going to happen. I'm going to ignore it. That stuff is very indicative of a weak relationship with extroverted sensing and your executive function. Theo, I don't really want you to come up here right now. So, right now though, I've I'm in the middle of a stretch of taking care of a bunch of stuff, and it's partially in response to feeling a lot of anxiety about the future and stuff, needing to take care of things. Needing to get a job, bring some income in. You go over there. Thank you. I do give the cats a certain amount of pets, but sometimes they just start to like crowd me too much. This cat will be right here, and this cat will be down by my feet. It's like, okay, you cats need to get away from me. You're all up in my space. Uh, yeah, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on that I got to take care of. Most significantly, my dental work that's coming up. I used to practice Zen, helped a lot, just learning to unclear the mind, sit with no thoughts, and recognize the present. It takes a while to learn, but help. I also used to sit Zen myself. Um, and yeah, it did help, but it's not where I am now, I guess, in my life practices. I think probably the things that help me most and things I are not things that I'm very good at. Number one would be getting enough sleep. When I get enough sleep, I'm a lot better off in all ways. Oh, that's fine, Jonathan. Don't even stress about it. It's all good. Um, and the second thing would be exercise. I should get a fair amount of exercise or more than I get, and it was dramatically impact my mental state and stuff like that. But I just never quite seem to feel like it. Like, why don't you just kind of run around the block and get some cardio going and such? But I don't often feel like it. I do periodically work up a sweat working on things around here, but I've recently um, finished my pond, and that was one area where I would get a lot of workout working on that. So now I'm in the absence of good exercise habits, but we will see what happens going forward. And I seem to be in a growth period right now, in a period of change. I have recently changed my diet, and that's helped quite a bit with my digestive stuff. Yeah, working out free endorphins. And there's nothing preventing me from doing so, and I don't dislike it necessarily, even. I just have a terrible relationship with extroverted sensing, you know? Makes it hard for me to pull the trigger and do stuff. Meow. It's nice to have a bit of a plan now and follow through on it, even if it's something simple like, okay, I'm going to stream for an hour or so tonight. It's nice to have a schedule in the mix. You just bed rot mostly. Is that lying in bed and not sleeping? Is that called bed rotting? Thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate you too. I find that when I'm having kind of a rough time of it or something, when I talk about how I'm struggling and life can be difficult and stuff, that I have a lot of people, identify with what I'm saying, and I just have the general sense that life's a struggle for probably most people much of the time. Circumstantially, I'm in a great position to presumably, live a wonderful life or something. But that's contingent on where you are in being you, not in your circumstances. Your circumstances may be bad, and that may cause things to be bad. But even if your circumstances aren't bad, it doesn't mean that you're gonna be correspondingly happy. Hello, Kevin Hawthorne from Lakeland, Florida. Hey, look, it's Acacia. How are you, Acacia? I'm making myself another cup of coffee, even though I feel kind of coffeeed out. But I want some kind of beverage. I think I'm going to take a couple Tylenol too. I got a little bit of a headache. Could I see you there? Yeah, I can see the top of your head poking out of the box. All right. Coffee creamer. And some milk. I accidentally got, I did not even know this existed. How can this exist? It's supposed to go somewhere in 2 hours. How does this exist? Fat-free half and half. I accidentally got fat-free half and half when I was trying to get just regular half and half. Isn't cream just kind of necessarily have fat in it? And this is supposed to be half cream. These cats, they're eating food all the time. The coffee is terrible. I mean, I guess it depends where you get it. I made this coffee myself, so. We make our coffee pretty strong, me and Rachel. I'm going to take a couple Tylenol. Tylenol does make me sleep, sort of. Like it. Tylenol's a mood stabilizer. People don't know that a lot, but it like damps down your feelings and stuff. It does a lot of things, Tylenol, but you can't take too much of it because it's bad for your liver. Yeah, I normally just take one. You're in Indiana. That's racist against Indians. All right, cool. See you later, Jonathan Carpenter. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. What if you're down? Does it bring it up? It doesn't necessarily cheer you. Well, I mean, you'll feel better if you're feeling down. Take a couple Tylenol, you'll feel a little bit better. Just be less aware of that. Yeah, it was an early night, but I don't feel like I slept well at all. I went to bed like, I don't know, 8 o'clock at the latest. But I had to get up a lot. I didn't feel like I got good sleep. And that's pretty common for me, unfortunately. Because it's so critical to my mental health to get adequate sleep. I tried different things. Like, but I'm trying to sleep without pills. It's pretty moony out, but you probably can't really see it anyway. I'm 6'4", 6'5", 6'4.5". I've shrunk a little bit from my tallest point in life. All you can see is just darkness. Here I am. It's moony here. It's not like super moony because it's like maybe 2/3 of the moon is out. It's not a full moon. And it's also way high up in the top of the sky, so it's a little less bright than it would be if it were lower down, it seems like. But it's still moony enough that I can clearly walk around the driveway and see where I'm going and everything. Obviously, this camera's eyes are not as good as my eyes. Don't worry, I'm still here. There's the Big Dipper. So called because it looks like a scooper for water. We should call it the Big Scooper. Where'd my glasses go? They were in my hand. Doing my to read list of 2026. I decided to finally read Moby Dick, but never read it. Heard amazing things about it. I've read Moby Dick. I read it in college. It's all right, I guess. It's kind of depressing if you if you don't like the idea of people killing a bunch of whales. If you don't enjoy stories about the mass slaughter of whales, then you might find it a little sad. Then there's this really boring part, which is like just articulating all the different kind of whales in a very like natural sciencey way. It's kind of a weird book. It's a little chilly out here, but it's not that cold. The weather thing on the computer said temps to plummet. It's been called the Great American Novel. Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's an unreasonable bias towards old books. Like, there's been plenty of books written since Moby Dick that are way better than Moby Dick. But back in the olden days, it's like there weren't that many books published by people. So the ones that weren't terrible got canonized. What would I call the modern American novel? I mean, I like books that are entertaining. I'm not big into literature, even though I majored in it in college. I like science fiction, fantasy books, stuff like that. So, but S. Scott Fitzgerald wrote better books than this before 1940. But Sherwood Anderson was better than Melville or Hawthorne. He was 1900 or something. Nathaniel Rest didn't write much, but he wrote a couple of good books. Generally, they're not considered literature, they're considered genre fiction. Some of the more artfully done examples of it might make their way into might make their way into a literature class or something. I taught science fiction books and stuff when I was a teacher of English. Jack Kerouac's great, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. He might be okay. I don't think I've really ever read On the Road, but I was thinking Jack London. Jack London's great. Call of the Wild is great. Meow. David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest. Yeah, I don't think I've read that. What do you want, Trouble? You want me to watch you eat? I could see myself at some point attempting another novel, but maybe not. Mr. Trouble, do you need eat watching? Acacia got you what you want. Yes, you're a good boy. With very silly ways. You're doing a poor job of eating today, Trouble. Yes, you're doing a fine job. And Daddy knows. And Daddy knows. And Daddy admires. Oh, yes. And Daddy respects. Are you done? Yes, you've done a fine job. All right, we're done watching you. Guess you're done eating. Kurt Vonnegut's pretty good. He's got some good stuff. Slaughterhouse Five is a good book. I don't know. That's one thing that, in general, I need to do is say, here are possible things, and I've made a decision about what to prioritize. That's a challenge for me. It's all part of the executive function stuff, you know? Mushrooms are really good for me. It's crazy how much good that does my head to take mushrooms. Look at it yesterday. Mushrooms for me are kind of like the mental health drug that works wonders. They somehow allow me to, kind of reset my perspective. I just seem to thoroughly enjoy and be pleased by my decision to take mushrooms every time I do. So that was nice. Well, I've been streaming for an hour now. When I started, I said I was going to stream for an hour, but I think I'll stream for a little bit longer. My goal is to get actually sleepy and be able to go lie down and get actual good sleep. Do you find yourself needing more rest overall after mushrooms? Well, usually I find I sleep very well after mushrooms. And yesterday, after they were coming down, I was very tired, but this lady wanted to chat with me, and I made a Google Meet, but then they couldn't get logged into the computer or something. I don't know. And I got tired of waiting and I went to bed. I mean, I think I'm always kind of tired. On rare occasions, I'll get some really good sleep and I'll actually feel pretty rested when I get up. But I don't know. I'd like to do a better job of sleeping for a large chunk of hours. I've got to be more aware of I need to have better sleep hygiene, and specifically, like, I need to stop drinking liquid some amount of time before I go to bed so I don't have to get up to pee so much. And I would sleep better if I got some exercise during the day rather than just sitting around or doing errands and stuff that doesn't give me any exercise. Yeah, that's the single best thing for me and my overall well-being is to make sure I get enough sleep. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a nightmare. But importantly, also, is like I'm trying to not take any pills to help me sleep because when I do take sleep pills, I feel like sometimes it doesn't even help. I just still get bad sleep. And then when I do get better sleep, I'm not sure it counts as much as real sleep without pills, you know? I've been generally laying off the psych drugs for a week or so now. Not taking Rachel's olanzapine or Clonopin or anything like that. Right. Or they make me incredibly groggy for extended period of time with not really any restful sleep. Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually kind of jealous of Rachel. Rachel's on a medication regimen that works beautifully for her, and she she doesn't get sleep until like 2 or 3 in the morning every night. But once she, maybe even later sometimes, once she does get sleep, she sleeps hard and for a good amount of time. It used to be that Rachel was the one with the sleep disorder, and I didn't have any issues with sleep. But things have changed. part of the all part of the horrors of growing old. You mean the once she gets to sleep, she sleeps hard thing? That sounds like Ruben. Hopefully, when I start working, I'll settle into a routine, a nice schedule with regular sleep and stuff. But we'll see. It's hard to stop being Eric, you know? Almost impossible. I mean, it's easy for you occasionally to stop being Eric, but it's hard for me. What kind of work are you looking for? Oh, probably. My plan at the moment is to apply to be a substitute teacher here in Mariposa County. I don't need to make a lot of money. I just need to have some income coming in so that I'm not just bleeding money. Yeah, I have experience in the field. I should be able to get the job no problem. I'm good at doing it. You know, I spent years as a classroom teacher. In my preferred field is coaching competition flow debate, but I'm not going to get a job doing that up here in the woods. And that's fine. So hopefully that all goes as planned, and I can get adequate hours doing that. If I can't get adequate hours doing that, then I could also apply to be a substitute teacher in Merced Unified or Oakhurst Unified. Maybe it's Madera Unified. I'm not sure what it would be called. But like if I got on all three sub lists, I'd have an opportunity to work, I'm sure, every day. So hopefully that plan, I'm able to execute that plan without difficulty. It's contingent first on me getting my teeth fixed. So I'm hopeful that, I think realistically, come the new year, January, I could go put those applications in. At that point, I'll have a temporary fixed denture on top, so uh, it's not gonna look great like the final thing, but it'll look adequate for me to go do an interview or something. You know, adequate so that I don't look like this. I think that's what I had last time I visited you guys. Oh, the well, but you had a temporary one that you could pull in and out, right? I'm gonna get a fixed temporary, so it's gonna be bolted into implants, but it's not the final thing. Yeah, it's not gonna look great, but it'll look better than the status quo and hopefully good enough for me to move forward on my job plans. I do have some cushion time wise in terms of urgency and stuff, so system is hard, plus finding work is harder. Yeah, I mean, Rachel and I don't have health insurance. We just pay for health services a la carte. We both have a psychiatrist, the same psychiatrist, and we pay for out of pocket. But we definitely pay less a year out of pocket than we would if we had insurance. The doctor we go to doesn't even take insurance, so no, I wouldn't get any benefits, and that's fine. You know, taking things one step at a time. Let me get some income so that I buy us ample amount of time to see what we're doing long term and longer term. And that kind of stuff, it's like, it's something I'm going to have to get around to. I'm going to have to get around to eventually. And it can be, it, on some level, I can say to myself, well, look, Eric, you don't need to take everything one step at a time. There's stuff you could do now in preparation for the next step. Like I could start getting my resume together and stuff. But I already feel like doing things one step at a time is pretty daunting. Just to handle life as a grown up is daunting enough. So I'm trying to find the right balance with myself, between uh, being Eric and the challenges of being Eric versus, okay, it's time to grow up and get shit handled. That's all fine, but I still have to be Eric who's getting shit handled, and I'm not that on top of my executive functions. Acacia says, do it however is best for you without it becoming overwhelming. That's good advice. Thank you, Acacia. I will try to do so. And I feel pretty regular whelmed right now. Not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed, just whelmed. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up now. Here comes G at the wrong moment again. So I think I'm going to wrap this up and watch a little bit more YouTube and try to go back to bed. Try to get some more sleep. Have a good one, everybody. Love you all. See you later. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.